Here at the Solent Let, we have partnered with Emma Blake to give advice, hints and tips to those businesses who are thinking about taking their business online. We appreciate these are challenging times, and we hope this helps support both individuals and businesses to think about how they may be able to reshape their business for the future. We are also pleased to announce that the Solent Let will be releasing a digital readiness fund in the next week. Please take a look on our website for any updates and more information on this fund and how to apply.
Hi everybody, I'm delighted to be here. This workshop is all about how to take your business online and really about how to get started. I know this is a topic that's very relevant to many of you right now. And if you haven't already embraced online and e-commerce with digital business, then now is your time to do so. So why do I get the privilege of speaking with you today, and why me to explain about online business? Well, my career can be best described really as an accelerated career, and I won't go into all the details today, but essentially I fast-tracked my way through aerospace and defence, so think fighter jets, tanks, submarines, and I had a corporate career that led me to leading significant corporate businesses. I went on to be headhunted by Deloitte to lead their CFO advisory practice, where I had teams in Japan, New York, Kuwait and London. And essentially we were fixing broken businesses. That was the specialty. And after quite a while in corporate, probably about 15 years, I decided it wasn't for me anymore. And I really had that burning desire that I wanted to set up my own business. I wanted to do my own thing and just experience what it was like to be a business owner. So I founded my own e-commerce business, and I took that business from kitchen table to retailing to 170 countries worldwide. And I sold that business in December 2015. And so now I help other people with their business journeys. So I have a company called Navigate the Noise, which is a consulting practice, and we are specialists in e-commerce and online business. And so I'm hoping I've got lots of stories to share with you. I really have been there and done it, and I know what it takes to get that business online and scaling fast. So what are we going to cover today? So today we're going to look at how to unlock some of this hidden potential in your business and actually just start embracing e-commerce and the virtual services. And I would like to share with you some tips and tricks to actually start a conversation online with your customers, with your audience. You know, how do you actually get started? How do you find out what your online customers want and how they want to be served? And then I'm going to talk about the power of social media and how you can use social media to really target your customers with messages that resonate with them. And we'll talk also about online ads. And then finally, we'll cover e-commerce incentives and offers. So what you can do to entice those customers today and some easy tactics that you can get started with. So let's just talk about where we are right now, because it is unprecedented times. We haven't seen businesses have to go through such fast change and adapt so quickly, I think, ever before. So when we look at the challenges we're facing, actually, we have this rapidly declining footfall. We have people who aren't walking the streets and wanting to purchase. They're only looking for their essential purchases. And we have challenges in the supply chain. We have unprecedented challenges in terms of access to stock and loss of confidence in consumer spend, certainly on the high street. But there's a whole nother story happening online. There is a vast opportunity that is happening online. And the reason why this is important is because all of your customers right now are already on the internet. So that loss of footfall outside either your retail store or your restaurant or whatever it is that might be for your business, that loss of footfall, there is actually online footfall available on the internet. And that's what we need to go after. That's what we need to target. So there are quite an interesting set of dynamics when it comes to e-commerce and online, including the fact that you're actually not limited by shelf space anymore. You can have really direct, meaningful conversations with customers, and you can offer clever incentives and perhaps bundle products together in a way that you haven't done before. There are actually also huge opportunities in terms of being able to flip and switch the stock that you offer and what you actually carry in terms of your warehouse and what you have available. So you're no longer having to fill a whole premises of stock to look full. You can carry only what you need. So actually online solves quite a lot of the problems. And, you know, as entrepreneurs, all the best entrepreneurs, we really are people who can adapt and problem solve. This is what we do. And e-commerce and online business gives us the opportunity to shine, I think. So I wanted to share with you my top 10 things that you can do right now. It is time to be bold. It is time to innovate and use this technology and embrace what you're doing online. So let's just run through these now. So you could, in terms of ideas, you could take your orders online. You could actually be getting website sales through social media channels, or even text message. You could think about adding a delivery service to your business. Perhaps you've never taken your product direct to your customer before, but now's the time to experiment with that. And also experimenting with new products. You know, why not? In these times when it is okay to be bold and put something out there and try it. You might be amazed to find that you create a product or service offering that really has some traction. And don't forget to find virtual ways to actually bring your services or perhaps demo a product to customers. I know we've seen a lot of good fitness instructors actually doing group fitness instructing, group fitness classes online. There's really inventive ways that people are taking what they do and making it into a virtual service. And the same too in terms of remote support. So customers are looking at ways that they can still receive services from a distance. So, you know, have a think about how you can either guide or host your customer through a series of step-by-step methods. For example, changing the oil in your car, perhaps you could work alongside the customer virtually in sort of remote support and help them DIY. And in return, they pay you for your time. There's some clever ways to evolve and adapt. And, you know, in terms of service offering and client appointments, you can still hold face-to-face sessions via technology such as Zoom, which will just keep the momentum going. So there's lots to embrace there in terms of online and technology. But there's also ways that we can, and ideas that we could adapt our operations. So I've seen some great examples from clients recently, actually, who are starting to sell the finished product, if you like, and delivering it instead of stocking and selling the ingredients. So if we look at a restaurant, they still have access in their supply chains to all the ingredients, but now they've swapped it into homemade meals service, and they're getting a new menu out to their customers. I think it's a great idea. It still keeps them open, still keeps their teams employed. And then other ideas on here, perhaps sell a make-it-yourself hamper or kit. You know, a lot of people stuck at home looking for things to do. You've got the knowledge, if you've got the skill set, perhaps you can put together some kind of DIY or make-it-yourself kit that people would enjoy as an experience. And then finally, the pieces on here at the end, just talking about repurposing your existing premises and production facility. Have a think about, actually, you could switch everything into a different mode of operation. So what equipment or space do you have right now that you can make a change of use on, that you can deploy in a different way? And don't forget to ask your customers how they want to be served. It's amazing. I've seen quite a lot of clients embracing the idea of, well, can we invest in virtual reality? Can we invest in some kind of augmented shopping experience? You know, dressing rooms that are delivered through the virtual try on and fit on operations. And I think all of these things are something that's very exciting to look at. And obviously they require long-term investment, but it just shows how people really are embracing the virtual world. And then I think one thing that I've seen a lot of people gloss over quite quickly, but I do think it's a massive opportunity in how you can take your business as it is today and take it online quite easily to monetize it, is in actually selling your knowledge. And bear with me here, because this is something quite interesting. So you can, if you have the right skills and expertise, you can have a think about how perhaps you could teach others. So for example, if you're a hairdresser right now, lots of people can't go to their salons. Perhaps you could be teaching people how to trim their own hair. You can put that in terms of a teaching session and working classes. There are knowledge platform software out there. There's a great one called Kajabi. There's also Teachable. There's a few others where you can create videos with your knowledge, with your class, your lesson, and upload it. And you can actually sell those online. So you can monetize your knowledge. So think about that. It's not just about repurposing your existing operations and taking it online, but it's also about embracing and monetizing your knowledge. And overall, just have a think about how you can take what you do and change it to either have a new function or perhaps a different feature, whether you can think about a different price point, think about a monthly subscription perhaps, or affordable pricing right now. Think about the time frame that you deliver your product or service over. Perhaps you could do something different there. And then think about how you can adapt a design, particularly in your products or services. Is there something you can make more accessible to people? So I want to get into some practical ways that you can take your business online really quickly. And I think social media is a fantastic way to do this in a fast, low cost way. So an example is setting up Facebook shops. Facebook shops are simple to do. They are free, which is excellent. So basically there's no excuses. A Facebook shop will just let you show and sell your products to all the people that you can reach on Facebook. So if you've got an existing Facebook page for your business, all you need to do is go into the settings and there's a shop tab, and you can create that template and you follow the instructions and you can set up your shop. You add your products on, you put your prices, and then your people who come to your page can actually instantly order with you straight away. And what I like about it is it should probably only take you about an afternoon max to set up. It's quick to do, it's easy, and as I said, it's free. And what's great as well is that once you've got that Facebook shop set up, you can also run a series of adverts to encourage more people who aren't already following your Facebook page to actually come and have a look and browse your shop there. So if you want a rapid way to start to embrace online, start to have an e-commerce offering, then actually this is a fantastic way to do it quickly. But then if you're looking for longer term, if you're looking for actually finding a full e-commerce platform that will serve you long term, then we do need to take a bit more time to make sure you're picking the right tool that will really work for you. So I want to just go over how I would select an e-commerce platform. And I know throughout my e-commerce journey, taking my company from kitchen table to retailing to 170 countries worldwide, we re-platformed several times as we grew, and it was a journey. And what I'd say is you need to make sure your platform choice, that it's scalable, that you're happy that the data is secure, and that it's really important it's user friendly for all of your team, so they can all contribute and be part of and get into your e-commerce system. It's vital that whichever e-commerce platform you choose, it integrates with other applications that are out there. So for example, you will want it to talk to your accounting system. You may want it to talk to your warehousing system. Think about those integrations really carefully. And then don't forget also that really with e-commerce, you want to automate as much as you can, as much as possible. So getting a platform that really supports your business needs long term, if you're selling online, it will take some thinking, but you can move forward with that quite quickly. And all I'd say is just have a think about a platform that really covers all of these key areas. So it's obviously got to support your operations, pick, pack and dispatch. It's got to allow you to produce and create content, because you want to create content that attracts people to your site. It must allow you to engage and discuss and talk to customers about their order and schedule deliveries. And of course, it's got to allow you to be able to pull key reports out so you can see your financial performance, so you can really understand the performance of your site. So these are some of the things you would look at when selecting your e-commerce platform. And what I would say is that there are a lot of choices out there in terms of e-commerce platforms, and sometimes actually the worst thing is that there are too many choices. So how do you start, and where do you go with this? I always go with ease of use and scalability, because you want to go for confidence first. You want to ensure that you get really confident about what it takes to sell online before you start layering in complexity. And there's a number of great platforms out there, like Shopify, like WooCommerce, like BigCommerce. Have a look at them. They are all different price points. Some will suit startups and some will suit the more mature business. And you do need to get the right platform for where you are in your business journey. And what I'd say is actually to break it down and make it more simple. If we just want to get on and make it happen quite quickly, this is what I'd recommend. Right now, if you've got a WordPress website, which a lot of people have, it will be like a brochure website, just explaining who you are and what you do. If you want to convert that quickly to an e-commerce store, and you've got a WordPress website, you need to go out and get the WooCommerce plugin. So Woo, W-O-O, WooCommerce plugin. And you can attach that to your WordPress website, and immediately you've created an e-commerce store for your business. There are a number of other e-commerce add-ons. So if, for example, if you've got a Squarespace website or Wix website, many of these all come with the ability to upgrade and add an e-commerce plugin or extension to your existing website. So it should be a matter of just going out and investigating that. So I thoroughly recommend that. If you're in a position where you really want to fully embrace online and you want to start with a low overhead, or perhaps you're a startup, I would recommend you move straight to Shopify as my personal recommendation. Shopify is amazing. It's got a very comprehensive suite of tools behind it. And there are great examples out there. For example, Gymshark, who have managed to scale their business to 200 million on Shopify. So it is scalable. You can go from startup to significant revenue online. So have a look at that as an option as well. And then finally, just on this slide, just to talk about other platforms, because taking your business online doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have an e-commerce extension or plugin onto your existing website. It could mean that actually you start trading on Amazon, for example, or eBay, or any of these other online platforms that are out there. So have a think about, for your industry, are there already collaborative platforms, trading platforms that could be perhaps your first step into the online and e-commerce space? And I just want to make a quick note for those of you who haven't sold online before. Those of you who've already dabbled in this a bit, I think you already have a good understanding, but for those of you who it's new, delivering direct to a customer does take a lot of consideration. And that first impression on receipt of their parcel through the door is vital. So I want you to have a think about what it would feel like, the experience you're creating for your customer through delivery. And, you know, I had a client recently, a luxury client, who gave this example of a battered, torn parcel left in a muddy puddle. And as a business owner, she was distraught because clearly that didn't tell that story of luxury, to have her beautiful product left in that way. So actually the speed of service and who delivers it and how they deliver your parcel, your product to your customer really must represent the brand. Things will always go wrong in dispatch and delivery. That is just the nature of the game. But what we can do is upfront as business owners, we can mitigate some of those risks by selecting the right partners and defining the right level of service that works for our business. So have a think about, what will the customer actually see when they open the door, how when they receive their parcel, you know, which courier service really matches what you're trying to achieve as your brand. And then think about that experience and that the customer has as they open their parcel. And then of course, what do they do if they don't want the goods inside? How do they return it? So you need to get very practical and think through the full end-to-end operations, full process as you embark on your e-commerce journey. All right, so I just want to take 2 seconds to take some time out and have a think then. So what product or service could you actually offer to people online? Have a think about how you could reach people remotely and be quite creative about what that service or product could look like. Okay, so once you have your online presence, whether that's your Facebook shop that you're going to set up this afternoon, or longer term, once you've got your website up and running, how do you actually get people coming to your store? And I get asked this all the time. It's probably one of the biggest questions. And the simple answer to that is that you've got to know where your audience hangs out. You've got to know where your audience is online, and then you go find them. So you can do that by a series of activities, and it will take lots of different activities to drive traffic. There's no one magic silver bullet here. So we see successful companies taking an approach of using a mixture of paid for adverts and then content, great content, for example, like writing blogs, and then also supporting that with strong email marketing campaigns. And to be honest, with my business, as I grew it, probably one of the biggest things that helped us scale fast was pushing email marketing. So actually making that a core focus, relentless list building, of ensuring that we were getting people onto our email list and then following up with weekly newsletters at the same time, every week, without fail, with new and exciting content out to that audience. And I knew that every time I sent that email marketing newsletter out, that I knew the tills would start ringing as soon as that had gone out. It worked that well. So we need to make sure that we're deploying all the tactics we can. It also includes reaching out on social media to people who could influence. So these are people who perhaps have an audience, which is your audience too. And if they have that social media account, they're called social influencers for a reason. They're able to encourage those people to come to your store. And I wanted to have a quick word about the social platforms, because making sure you reach out in the right way on the right platform is actually key. There's no point putting all of your energy, all of your marketing spend into an online social platform which isn't where your audience is. So if we look at Instagram, Snapchat, that tends to be for the younger generation. Facebook, definitely for older people now, I have to say, over 50s for sure. And then certainly for B2B, LinkedIn is a clear winner in terms of advertising. And Twitter, interestingly, is quite popular with men. So when we look at the different social platforms that are out there, have a think about who your ideal customer is and how you're targeting them, and then make sure that you're embracing and having conversations with the right people on the right platform. And then I think in terms of starting conversations, I love this because it's talking to your customers is the best part of business. So here's my sort of tips and tricks. Ultimately, if you've got that email list, you're lucky enough to have an email list, definitely go and write a weekly newsletter to people. I like to join Facebook groups, actually, is a really interesting one, especially local ones or industry specific ones where your audience hangs out, and you can go on there with your own personal profile and start a discussion, engage a discussion, and then when and if it's relevant, allow people, show people who your business is and where your page is, and bring them across to your business. There's ways to engage people. You've got to be a real person, and just remember that people do buy people, so they've got to know you, like you, trust you online, and that is a huge part of this trust factor. And if you're having an honest conversation with your customers online, if you are helping them in a way that they feel is valuable, then they will grow that trust level with you and then be ready to make the sale. And then the other point on there is just to ask other business owners to help you start a conversation if you're new to trading online. So actually, by partnering with others and collaborating, you can make a big step change in your progress. And perhaps you could appear as a guest blogger. Perhaps you could ask one of your business partners for an introduction to their audience. There will be partners and collaborators out there who already have your audience that you like to target. They've already done that work. So you can achieve a lot of value by putting your brands together and co-branding and going out with a message. So have a think about where your audience hangs out online and on what would be your first message to them. And then in your messaging, have a think about how you can use online adverts. So online adverts exist across a number of platforms, but the most popular ones right now are Google ads, Facebook ads, and LinkedIn ads. And essentially, you can be so specific on who you target that it's a great use of marketing spend, because you can pull out and you can say, right, my audience is women in their 30s in Portsmouth, and you can literally target the demographics so specifically like that, which it helps you make sure that your marketing message really resonates with the people it reaches. And you can set these ads to have a small budget, a small daily budget, or a larger budget. And as you grow confident and as you see the returns, you can increase your spend. I'd really recommend having a go at these. There's plenty of information out there on how to get started. Facebook ads, if you're going to set up your Facebook shop and get going with that, Facebook ads would be the next place to go to start bringing new people to your shop. And then in terms of incentives and offers, I think the great thing about online and embracing e-commerce is actually that there's so many clever bundles and offers and incentives that we can put together for customers that really brighten up their lives, can add real value. And so I want to just share with you some ideas here. So depending on your customers, you will have different offers that will resonate with different customers online. In the same way that you would in a physical store or in the physical world. So if we take customer A on the left, perhaps he really enjoys receiving a regular weekly email. Maybe he likes free stuff, some ebooks, some downloadable PDFs, checklists, some free guides. So it's about the content. He might enjoy a flash sale. A flash sale is a quick promotion, time-limited promotion. And he will certainly be looking at customer reviews and testimonials. So for that type of customer, you would want to be making sure that your website, that your online presence really covers off and talks to some of those offers. And then customer B on the right there, well she's a different type of character, and she enjoys the coupons. She might enjoy her friends referring her to companies that she likes. She'll certainly embrace some of the upsells and cross sells you could do online. So for example, if you're going to buy that skirt, would you like this top with it? She will be someone who might need to be taken through a cart abandonment process, which is where when people check out and they get to check out, but they don't complete their order and they leave the site, you can set up a sequence of emails that sends to them to say, oh, you've left something in your shopping basket, you didn't complete your order. Would you like to come back and complete your order? And then don't forget the power of competitions. Competitions can be really exciting way to attract new audiences, because people love to share them. People can't wait to share them with their friends. And so it's a great way to quickly bring in new people to your site as well. So there's some of the ways that you can attract and retain some interest. And I just wanted to put some actual e-commerce offers that I've seen work really well in the last few years for people. So there's buy one, get one free. Don't forget product bundles, combining some of your existing products in new, exciting ways. That can be fantastic. Look at competitions, look at gift vouchers and loyalty cards. And then don't forget about providing a guarantee, because this point of trust that we talked about earlier. People, when they get to check out online, they have this moment before they press the button and they put their credit card details in. They have that moment where they reflect on the trust, and you need to help them believe that you're going to deliver and do what you say you're going to do. So actually providing a guarantee, 30-day money back guarantee, or, try before you buy, or whatever it is, some kind of guarantee which really resonates with your customer and allows them to have confidence to take that step forward. So carefully think about that today, but there's lots of ideas there on how you can give some offers just to entice people to buy. So have a think about what would entice your first customer to buy online. You can apply all these offers in Facebook as well. Just get creative with it, and just encourage as well people to refer you. So if you've had a successful customer checkout and complete that checkout process, ask them to refer a friend. Give them some discount for referring a friend, and they'll enjoy that. And if they've enjoyed your product or service, they'll certainly be happy to do so. So ultimately, embracing online and taking your business online is an exciting journey. There are some quick ways that you can do it through social media, adding a shop to your existing social pages. There are some longer term strategies in terms of developing out your e-commerce site yourself. But ultimately, it is about being bold and embracing the new adventures. And recently I've set up a Facebook group, which you are very welcome to join, to help support and guide people who are looking for online business growth and looking to take their business online, because it is a daunting journey and we all have questions. So as I say, you're welcome to join it. It's under Facebook groups, Coaching Club with Emma. And I'm in there about once a week answering questions that come through from the group. And ultimately, I hope that you will take this time to embrace online, to really take your business online and see what's possible for you, to explore and get creative and enjoy that online journey. I hope that's been useful. Thank you very much.
A big thank you to Emma for her time and supporting us here at the LEP. If you or your business have any questions or need support during this time, please contact our inquiries email or check out our designated coronavirus webpage.